Hey all you wiggly piggies, I'm Rodman Jr. the third, and this is Slow to Pro, the video series where I go from slow to something else. Today we're back on Assetto Corsa Competizione with low fuel motorsport for the opening of season 10 here at Barcelona. We got a packed 28 car grid today. We'll be starting in P26, and right from the green flag, I'm on a mission to get to P10 or better to match my car number. So we're gonna do the risky thing and just go right up the inside. And I have about as much intention of backing out as a cat has of giving up on a laser pointer, which is to say, I'm not. I'm gonna hold this line all the way through turn one. We're sticking right behind this ass thing, 3 wide, and I ain't scared of nothing except this guy on my inside losing it. Thankfully, he does not. And at this point, the traffic is still too wide, but I am not, so I get to pick the outside line or the inside line, and I choose the inside line, because duh, why wouldn't you? We're gonna sweep up along the inside, go side by side with that beautiful screaming Aston Martin, come under the bridge now, gonna pick up another position, car off circuit, another car off circuit, dirt flying. Gotta really pay attention to the whole pack here. Keep your eyes up and cross your fingers that nothing terrible happens in front of you. Porsche runs wide here, distracts me, almost runs me wide a little bit, but I'm able to keep it under control. But now I've got a blue McLaren peeking up my left-hand side. You can see it in the radar there, and they're gonna peek their nose here right up the inside. It's gonna keep me from cutting that turn too much. But we get clear on the exit, and it's time to settle in for a bit behind that yellow number 20 McLaren. And while we do, why don't you do old Rodman Jr. the third a favor? Click on the like button. My buddy Sean, he said he liked it so much he even subscribed. So that's gonna pop us one closer to that 1,000 mark. Everybody say thanks, Sean. But if we put our eyes back on the action now, we're getting nice and tight to this McLaren. Got a good line of cars in front of us. Got a good line of cars behind us. So one mistake could be a multi-car disaster as we come up to the final chicane here. The McLaren looks like they want to take a shot, and then I decide, well, maybe I want to take a shot, and that was dumb. Almost get booty blasted, but thankfully that Porsche behind us was able to use their brakes properly. We had a terrible run into this final turn because of all that hullabaloo, and as we come across the start-finish line, we are in P18. So still a whole lot of work to do to get ourselves into the top 10. We're going to need to pass at least 8 more people, if my math is correct. But we're gonna go ahead and skip the second lap. All that happened was I followed this traffic around until we finally got a moment here. We've got a battle brewing between the Honda, that white car, and the BMW on the left there under the bridge. They go side by side, and I think, I know for me, this used to be a big distraction. When I see 2 cars battling, I kind of focus on them a little too much, because the McLaren's gonna miss their braking point and run a bit wide. Gonna give us a window to sneak right up the inside. It's gonna put us into P17, and we're able to make that pass stick. And I become instantly obsessed with becoming a part of this battle between the BMW and the Honda. The BMW bowed out there. It seemed like they thought I was gonna come shooting up the inside, so that made me think this person is someone looking at their mirror. So I started thinking this is somebody that's gonna be easy to fake out, but I get a hell of a run off that turn compared to them, so I don't even need to fake them out. I just need to go up the inside and brake a little bit later. It's no big deal. It's an easy pass. Puts us up into P16, but that Honda's got a little bit of a gap on us, so let's go ahead and skip now to when we catch up to the Honda. On lap 4 here, coming up to a tight turn. I forget what turn number. I never knew what turn number. I couldn't have forgot if I never knew. But anyway, I tried to go around the outside. I couldn't make it stick, but this guy knows I want him now. You know what I'm saying? He knows I'm aggressive. I got my teeth bared. I'm growling. This little puppy don't just bark, she bites too. Coming through the final chicane now. I know that the Honda is very, very fast in a straight line, so I know I've got to focus on the exit of this turn right here, because it's my only hope. And we do get a better exit than the Honda, and everybody is going to move toward a defensive line, and the Honda's trying to stay in the draft, and I say, well, this is my opportunity to get along the outside of you and force you to an inside line that's going to be uncomfortable. Can you hit the braking marker? No, you cannot. But you can hit 2 people for the price of 1. You remember in Grand Theft Auto 4 when Nico would kind of like stumble down some stairs because of that weird Euphoria engine thing? That's what the car felt like right there after he clipped me. It was like just a drunk car. I couldn't get control over it, but then we were able to regain control. 2 cars whizzed by us, we passed one. We also got some guy who crashed off screen during a clip. So that's gonna put us into P14 for the moment. Only 4 more to go. till we match our car number in P10. Skipping ahead now to when we get a pass on the BMW, the McLaren was kind enough to recognize that we had pace. They just let us by during the chicane. Very, very smart of them. It saves us both a lot of time. It looks like the BMW has a moment of a little too much throttle there. They're able to save it, but they lose a little too much speed. We're able to get a nice, easy pass as long as we can make it stick on this turn. And we do. Not the best line, but hey, it's a line. But let's go ahead and skip now to the battle for P11. The Aston is going to choose to go inside, take a defensive line, and I think, okay, whatever, dude. I'll go around the outside. I don't care. But then they kind of come across here, which forces me to let off the throttle. It's a very smart move by them. But if I hadn't let off there, I probably would have just bumped them in the booty a little bit, turned them around, and kept on my merry way. Could have easily ruined their race there. But here we go under the bridge, trying to catch right back up, trying to get another move. I know at this point that he's or she is going to defend, so the gloves are off. You want these dirty knucks, you're going to get them. And here's case in point of how much time a battle, even when it's front to back, how much time a battle costs. That car in front was about 1.5 seconds ahead. That car in front is now about 2 seconds ahead. And the car behind has caught up. They're just a half second behind me. So now we've created essentially a three-way battle, all because the Aston is choosing to run defensive with basically 13 minutes left to go. And we're not even halfway through the race, and this guy's like, "Nah, bro, I want P11. I'm keeping it." And it doesn't take long for me to get frustrated with somebody's defensive maneuvers and start saying, "Okay, whatever, man. If you want to defend, we're both gonna wreck. I'll run that risk." Again, the Aston Martin chooses to run a defensive line. I think, okay, you want to send me around the outside into the chicane? That's great. It's going to give me the inside line of the first turn. He tries to squeeze me. I go even onto the sausage curb. I literally have nowhere else to go. And that's what you're going to get. You want to squeeze people. You want to push them to the limit. You're going to find where the limit is. You may not like it, though. But that pass puts us up into P11 as we cross the line for the start of lap number 8. Let's go ahead and skip now to the end of lap number 9. And the battle for P10, the position that I want the most. It is car number 11. It's car number 10 versus car number 11. I'll take possibly the best chicane that I've ever taken, which is going to give me a great run through this final turn. And as we come across the start-finish line, we are well in the draft as we start lap number 10. We're going to get up alongside. The Aston is not going to let out. They're also not going to take an overly defensive approach. They're just going to battle clean. I like this. This is something I can appreciate. We stick the line, we stick the landing, we stick the pass. Puts us up into P10 with just over 8 minutes remaining and about a 4.5 second gap to the next car in front of me. So let's go ahead and skip ahead now to the next bit of battling. We got the white McLaren looking to make a move, and I think this is great. It'll compromise their line, but I'm too distracted to focus on my own line. I take way too much curb. It screws up my exit, and now we don't have nearly the run that I thought I would, so we're just tucking behind here. P10. We've got car number 15 in front of us. I'd really like to get P9 if I could. That would feel great, you know? Just any extra position is an extra position in my book. But I'm also not willing to sacrifice my entire race thus far. You know what I mean? We've come so far. Let's not screw it up now. So let's go ahead and skip now to the next bit of action. It's lap number 13, a little under 2.5 minutes. The white McLaren gets into the black McLaren shoulder blasts him off the circuit. And that's going to put us up into P9. I think, oh, here we go. Do I get P8 here too? But no, that 3 car does a hell of a job on the outside line, maintaining their speed. And I think, okay, this is gonna be a war. They're holding the inside line here. I think, okay, let's break real late. But no, they break at the same time, and then they block my exit. Great driving by that 3 car. But it's time to go ahead and skip now to the very final lap of the race. We are still in P9. We've still got that 3 car and the McLaren in front of us. And through my car language, I believe I've communicated that we are not battling. I take wide lines with the McLaren. I follow the McLaren. I never try to step foot alongside the McLaren. And because of that, I think the McLaren has understood not to worry about me and just focus on their lines. And because of that, we're catching up to some traffic in front of us here. So we're just head down at this point. This is the final lap. There's no time left on the clock. Next time we cross the line, it's over. So I think this McLaren knows, like, hey, You and I each have an opportunity here. If you sneak through, I might be able to slither right behind you. Alternatively, if you make a misstep while trying to make a pass on that Porsche, I might be able to just slither right through you. In either case, I want P8. But with every single turn that we sweep and slide and glide through, our chances to get P8 keep going down and down and down. And as we come to the back straight here, I think this is it. This is the moment. But the McLaren does a good job kind of fending me off there, at least scaring me away from it. Then they try to go wide on the Porsche. I think this is my opportunity to go up the inside, not realizing that, this gives the McLaren the inside to this turn right here, which is way more important to have the inside here. It sets you up nicely for the chicane, and that's going to be where we finish P9, and it's a result I'm pretty happy with. But that's it for the action from today's race. I'll be back later this week with the action from Laguna Seca with Zealous Racing League, and possibly some Class A NASCAR action on iRacing from Bristol, but that'll probably be next week. We'll see. As always, thank you so much for watching Slow to Pro. I'm Rodman Jr. III. You guys have the kind of day you want to have.